At the National Philharmonic Hall in Warsaw this weekend, audiences were treated to a protest by two female climate activists. They are trying to save the world by interrupting a concert. This is a warning. Our world is on fire. We are the last generation that can stop the climate catastrophe. We apologise for the disruption, but this show can no longer go on. Stop the climate. Activists are bothered by artists and politicians in the European Union, by farmers. Both argue that crops and farms, especially those on the old continent, are a deadly threat to the entire planet. We must bear in mind that any agriculture must adapt to changing climate conditions. I am ready to talk to farmers, encouraging the use of these ecosystems, eco-schemes, and change the way we farm. The solution is to be the Green Deal, which is to radically reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We will defend the Green Deal. On the other hand, we will. I'm talking about Poland 2050. On the other hand, we will defend it, if it is introduced in such a way that it gives itself a chance. The well-being of farmers can mean exactly also supporting the Green Deal policy, because most of the soils in the European Union are being destroyed by the very intensive economy. I would like to emphasise that the Green Deal is about caring for our planet, and we won't get away from it if we keep claiming it as an ideology. The problem is that the Green Deal is also a radical reduction in food production and thus most likely massive bankruptcies of farmers across Europe. The Green Deal is not that green because the carbon emissions that European agriculture emits reach 1% globally. This is primarily a blow aimed at our production. These concerns are confirmed by a report by Policy Insight, whose authors examined the impact of the Green Deal on agriculture. Policy Insight report, Impact of the European Green Deal on Polish Agriculture. Implementation of the European Green Deal will reduce food security in Poland, prices will rise, and availability of foodstuffs will decrease. Hence the farmers' protests in Poland, Germany, in Spain, and in Brussels. And availability of food. An almost unimaginable looping of the minds of ideologues who have caught on to power and who think they will save the planet by what in reality will be an abolishing of agriculture. However, ecological restrictions are a sacrifice that left liberal politicians are willing to make, as long as they are not the ones who have to bear the cost of their ideology. This is an excerpt from a conversation with Deputy Climate and Environment Minister Ursula Zielińska, who is calling for a 90% reduction in CO2 emissions. Why do you not drive an electric car, but a second-generation Volkswagen? Because I live in a block of flats and don't have a charger under my block. Simple. The restrictions resulting from the Green Deal, however, are consistently disagreed with by law and justice politicians. This is simply a disaster and it has to be stopped. We opposed it. While with us in the Union, the majority that is in power today fought against it. We were there saying that it had to be done and they criticised us, that we were backward, that we were anti-European, talked about Polexit and so on. The farmers are also demanding that the border with Ukraine be sealed. After the war broke out, Brussels allowed the import of food there that did not meet any ecological standards, and there was therefore much cheaper and of inferior quality.